There's a message from Johan. It says, Shalom. Many of my friends believe that women are looked down, I guess looked down upon, and treated like second-class citizens by Orthodox Jewish men. It would be great if you could shed some light on the truth. You know and I know, so the rest of the non-Orthodox world can understand what the deal is. Okay? It's really surprising if you were to open up the canon of Jewish philosophy on the treatment of women and the treatment of your wife. You'd quickly understand the awe and the reverence that the Orthodox man has to have for his wife. The Rebbe, the Lubavitch Rebbe, in our generation furthered this point. There used to be a discrepancy in belief between Jews who said, they would quote a Gemara that says, if you teach your wife Torah, you teach her lewdness, and they would say that she only has to know the law, she has to learn. And somehow there was started to be a prevalence of really smart women who were learning Torah, and were really having some sort of novel interest. And Brewery is a famous example in the Gemara, but there's also a story in the Lubavitcher memoirs about, I think the Alter Rebbe is, or maybe someone's namesake. It was a few generations before the Alter Rebbe even. And there was a woman who knew Torah, and they were walking home from a certain place, and someone dropped a glove on Shabbos, and they asked, she's allowed to pick it up. Is the person allowed to pick up the glove? There's no Erev in the town. So I think this woman somehow had the answer, and other people knew it was the right answer, and didn't think of it as quickly. So there's some stories like that. But I don't know. I can give you some random one-line things from the Gemara, but it doesn't really make an influence unless you read and it's not going to make an impact unless you read the entire. There are things like even the whole kasuba, the whole arrangement of kasuba, is a wedding contract is for the woman's protection. Same with gittin, same with a divorce, also for women's protection. So anyway, the Rebbe's chiddush, just getting back to that, is that women that should not only study Torah, they should study Torah of the deepest variety, of the most esoteric kind. So the deepest secrets of the Torah they should know. And I think he was the seventh of Chabad Rebbeim. So Chabad is an acronym of Chachma Bina V'das, of intellectualization, understanding, and connection to information. And he says in other places that women come from Bina in general, the aspect of understanding things in their details and their finer points, whereas men come from intellectualization, seeing a grand idea without its details, so it's kind of useless unless you draw it down into the details. And the Rebbe's point was like this, that women study Torah from Bina, from understanding, and men study from Chachma. Of course, you have to draw down the Chachma into Bina. But because they're different, they can both add, meaning both genders can add to the elucidation of Torah. And within this, the Rebbe always sought the greatest and the highest goal. He said even the deepest secrets of the Torah. And he instructed them to learn Chassidus, and there are many, many groups. And when I was living there, many times women meet and learn Chassidus. It's a beautiful thing. And that, to me, is the ultimate sign of respect for a woman. And this came from Lubavitcher Rebbe, who was definitely an Orthodox. Also Chassidish. So that's what I think about that. Some things in the Gemara, I don't even know what's quoted. It says, you have to prepare your wife, on the night of emergency. You have to be nice to her, be sensitive to her needs, just to talk to her with a soft voice. It says, I think the Zohar says, Hashem counting tears women. Someone quoted this to me, but his citation wasn't so good. He said he thinks it's from the Zohar, but he knew it from like a movie. So, but anyway, that's what he said. I don't know. In general, it's known. It says in the Gemara, it says the rabbis ask the people's generation, "Why do you complain about your livelihood? You want to have a good livelihood? Be nicer to your wives. This is the key to Jewish success. If you treat your wife nicely, then God blesses you with physicality." I don't know. There's many such stories. And in general, you just look at I think if you interview the average Orthodox woman, I think she would express that she has a life of liberation, a life of intellectual stimulation, a life of honor, a life of respect, a life of like a queen, really, because the daughters of Israel, called the Israel, they really are like daughters of God, like all children, but they have a special place, and they're the ones who from them Jewish babies come, and the religion of the baby is only because of the mother. And the Alter Rebbe one time, he was in a state called Devekus, which nowadays would just be called a seizure, basically. But he was in Devekus. He was in a different spiritual reality than the rest of the people in the room. Why did he go into Devekus? He overheard his wife say, "Mine does such and such." It was in Yiddish, so mine means my husband. So he fell on the doorpost, and he went to Devekus. When he arose, when he became conscious again, he said, "In the future, we'll see." He said, "With one mitzvah, she is mine. I'm hers with one mitzvah of marital relations. How much more am I God's? How many more mitzvahs do I do to connect to God? This is put him into Vekas. And when he got up and basically exclaimed, in the future we'll see the concept of Eishes Chayla Teres Baila, that a woman of valor is the crown of her husband. We'll see what it actually means. And the women in Judaism, when a man goes to study Torah, who gets credit? It's the woman who allows him to go and neglect temporarily, as it were, his responsibilities in the house or at work or whatever it is. So she gets the credit. She lets him go, and they're charged with the most important things in the Jewish world, which are kosher, the Sabbath, lighting Sabbath candles on time, and make sure that and education of the children. Oh, not education. Mikvah, ritual purity. And these are the things that kept Jews. These three things are the only reasons we have Jews today. Still know what Judaism is, and still can speak the language of the Torah because of those three things. And those are all guarded and protected by the women. If you have any questions how Orthodox Jews feel about women, I would just read Likutei Sichos. They have it free online in my website, in my channel, sichosinenglish.org/books. Read Likutei Sichos, go through it and see what you can find about women, and you'll understand exactly where the Orthodox man should be striving, at least, to hold, where he should be striving to hold in estimation the Orthodox Jewish woman, that is his wife, or anyone's kosher wife. Thank you so much, and God bless.